Film.
If we took the camera and pointed it at the other camera, you would see some of the difference because these are digital cameras, right? And they're very tiny. You could almost put them in your pocket compared to the classic 16mm camera, which you'd hold on your shoulder, compared to the 35mm camera, but it would take two people to move. So part of it is that the equipment is much, much lighter, much more flexible. Particularly digital cameras are very light sensitive, so you can film in low light situations much more easily. And as we saw today with the examples from people I could have been and from Tehran without permission, and the green wave if we saw more of it, the cell phone itself is now a form of technology for filmmaking as well as making phone calls. That's part of the irony of that clip I showed today of Boris Garrett's making a film on his cell phone, meeting someone, making love with them, and filming on his cell phone the moments afterwards where he's filming them and she's on her cell phone making a date. It's like, what's going on here? So that's a whole new world. And there's not only the technology and it's what it makes possible, but the web, the internet, and what it makes possible, which I think we don't know yet. I mean, it makes, as this will be on YouTube, trillions of things are now on YouTube, like all the plankton in the sea, all these little microbes that whales eat, are out there in the ocean, floating around. And there's trillions of things, just enormous number of things on YouTube and other sites, many other sites that we can, more than we could all watch in a lifetime now, and more is being added every minute. So selectivity and finding what you want and knowing what to look for becomes a new kind of challenge. And there is an enormous opportunity to make and show things that we never had before. You don't have to wait until you get in a movie theater. Take this and put it online tomorrow, tonight, and it's out there for other people. All I have to do is find it. It happens to a greater degree and in a more expansive sense. Like we saw both in People I Could Have Been and in Tehran Without Permission, people filming on the metro, on the subways. In a lot of cities that's illegal for various safety reasons and for privacy reasons. When you're on a cell phone and it looks like maybe you're talking and you're actually filming someone over there, who knows? So there are also a number of videos or digitally recorded images, not video, but cell phone recordings of violence, of police brutality, of fights that break out in bars, and those are just on cell phones often. They can become evidence in court. They can be mobilizing devices that make people aware of what's happened. In Tehran, when the election was going on, most of the people knew where to go and where to protest and what to do, because they were talking to each other on cell phones and with blogs. So without that, if they had to have newspapers and posters and announcements and meetings in person, the government would have had a much easier job of breaking them up. But with it's like trying to chop all the heads off of a multi-headed animal. You keep chopping and there's more and more heads. So that's some of the difference that the new digital technology makes. There's a voice that is more pervasive, more instantaneous. If I wanted to film what's happening right now and I just take out my cell phone, whoop, I don't have to rent a camera, I don't have to get a cameraman, I just take out my cell phone. So it makes things, in one way, much easier. To make a good film that has interest, that has a story, that will get millions of people to watch it, that's not so easy. That's still as much a challenge as ever. This is like the essay in some senses, but it's where, to me, performative documentaries are ones where the filmmaker is more palpably, physically present, and they make